Our other two champs, Tim Witherspoon and Greg Page, will be doing battle. That'll be an interesting fight.
Both these guys kind of mirrored one another. They came up in the 80s. They won a title. For Tim Witherspoon, he lost his first title defense after winning the title, then came back and regained the championship. Of course, lost a very disputed title fight to Larry Holmes. A lot of people thought Tim Witherspoon won that fight. Really a talented fighter, great overhand right, good defensive skills, but because of his problems outside of the ring, Colonel, never became the fighter a lot of people expected.
Well, you never know what Tim Witherspoon will do, how he'll show up, but we do know that Greg Page is in terrific shape. He's been fighting regularly.
He's been very active. Greg Page has had half a dozen fights the last year and a half, and like Witherspoon, won the title, kept it less than 6 months, lost in his first title defense, but unlike Tim Witherspoon, Greg Page, who always relied on that good jab and boxing skills, Colonel, he never got another title shot after he lost it.
Well, kind of too bad. Well, you've got two very, very likable guys. And here comes Greg Page as he makes his way in. Different sort of guy than Tim Witherspoon. More intense individual. He can be uptight before fights, but he looks as loose as I've seen him as he runs into the ring.
You don't see many heavyweights who actually run into the ring. Greg Page, who at one time thought they might be another little Muhammad Ali out of Louisville, Kentucky. In fact, sparred with Muhammad Ali as a very young fighter.
Well, of course, he is very enthusiastic about being involved with this Legends, and he had a few comments yesterday when we talked to him, and you'll find it very interesting. Here comes the comments of Greg Page as he talks about the Legends of boxing.
I fought him the first time, and the fight was close. And they took the fight from me because I went against the grain. I'm not going against the grain because I don't have nothing to do with them anymore. He don't have anything to do with them anymore. So it's an even kill. So the best fighter wins.
Well, the thing that amazes me when you listen to the bite of Greg Page is how intense he is and how serious they are. I don't know what I expected when I came down here, but I'm seeing a whole lot more. Here he is, Tim Witherspoon, the former two-time heavyweight champion of the world. He lost his title to Bone Crusher Smith, but he wants to get back and fight for the Legends Heavyweight Championship. The very, very likable father of 4 daughters, 1 son. He's even a grandfather, a great kid.
Well, Tim Witherspoon, of course, been to the mountain twice. It's been a long time, though, since Timmy Witherspoon, they called him Terrible Tim, has fought for the heavyweight championship. His career...
Well, you never know what Tim Witherspoon is going to show up, but that's what we're going to find out all about tonight. Tim had a few comments for us, too, and I think we ought to eavesdrop in a little bit of that interview. Here's Tim Witherspoon yesterday.
Fighting guys like a lot of, maybe a year and a half ago, something like that, I feel I had the advantage because of the caliber of fighter. Like the guy I'm fighting, Greg Page, fought a guy that was real light, and they went to 10 rounds, and I heard the guy beat him.
I hear the comments of the likable Tim Witherspoon. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape, John Saraceno, and see what this will tell us.
Well, looking at Tim there, weight-wise, doesn't look much different than when he was in his prime, really. Really, the fighters are very comparable up and down the tail of the tape. Who's going to want this fight more, Greg Page or Tim Witherspoon in the rematch 15 years later?
Two guys with an awful lot of ability. They're both close to 40 years old. Witherspoon 41 and Greg Page at 39. We're set to go for our second fight of the evening. Two former world heavyweight champions. Let's go up to our ring announcer, Mark Barrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cozell McQueen and Legends of Boxing presents this next contest of the evening, scheduled for 10 rounds, heavyweights. Your referee for this event from Raleigh, North Carolina, Bill Clancy. Introducing now the principals first. In the blue corner to my left, wearing the red trunks with the white trim, he weighs in at 250 pounds with a professional record that reads 55 victories, 14 defeats, 1 draw, and 45 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Louisville, Kentucky, the former WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Greg Page. his opponent in the red corner, wearing the white trunks, weighing 237 3/4 pounds. His professional record reads 46 victories, 9 defeats, and 31 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from the great city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the former two-time heavyweight champion of the world, Terrible Tim Witherspoon. Heavyweight. Let's go, Greg. Bring this up. Come on, Greg. Let's go. All right, gentlemen, went through the rules in the locker room. Give me a good, clean fight. Protect yourself. All right, let's go to work.
All right, so we're set to go. Bob Sheridan here. John Saraceno, the principals in the ring. Tim Witherspoon, and you're looking at Greg Page. Two former world heavyweight champions, and there's a buzz in the crowd when they see the size of these guys. They are huge men. 237 3/4 pounds is Tim. Greg Page, as John, you said, not a lot over his true fighting weight of 10, 15 years ago at 225, but he's been very, very busy. You know, this is his third fight this year.
Let's do it.
He fought 4 times in '98 and 9 times in 1997. He's been busy.
Oh, Greg Page coming out, making some wild sounds and immediately attacking the body of Tim Witherspoon.
Oh, Witherspoon in his prime was a terrific fighter. He almost upset Larry Holmes in his prime. Look at these guys. Hit with a low blow that time. And now the referee, Bill Clancy, says, keep up, Greg. These guys have got to fight.
Tell you something,
How about this opening round?
No warming up in the bullpen. These two guys know each other very, very well.
I think these heavyweights want to end it in a hurry. Bang, bang goes Greg Page. Timmy ties him up.
All right, let's go.
Page, as I said, has been much more active, so he's really, really ready. Tim Witherspoon, on the other hand, a year and a half ago, we went tough 10 rounds with Andrew Gallotta, and in April,
another low blow
by Brian Nelson in 4 rounds with a low blow again. And in spite of the fact that maybe accidental, you made the comment in the last fight, it's not a bad idea to take the wind out of a guy's sails, especially older guys, to bang him low.
Well, they're trying to take the legs out from an opponent, but I tell you what, here comes Tim Witherspoon. That could have been the dumbest thing Greg Page ever did if he wakes up a sleeping giant like Timmy Witherspoon.
Well, Witherspoon's a guy that doesn't mind fighting in here, and all of a sudden he'll come back and throw a left hook, or he might throw a wild right hand. Oh, Tim goes down. It counts up to 2 and 3. It must have been some accumulation of punches, because I didn't see anything clean. He's taking the standing 8 count. And remember, this fight is sanctioned by the North Carolina Boxing Commission, and they're under North Carolina rules for this one. 3 knockdown rule is in effect, and there is a standing 8 count.
Witherspoon firing back, Colonel.
Greg Page looks like a guy that has been busy, and Tim was caught. And to be honest with you, I can't tell you what he was caught with, because with his back to us, I couldn't really tell.
Well, Greg Page is fighting a very unlike Greg Page fight, at least from his days as a contender and a heavyweight champion. Greg Page used to like to operate from behind the jab. He has immediately jumped on Tim Witherspoon.
Witherspoon caught him with a left hook that rocked him, too. It lifted him right off his feet to the side. So Tim has still got some power in his left hook.
As you know, it's not a bad strategy to jump on an older fighter. Tim Witherspoon's lost his last 4 fights. He's in trouble in this first round.
Tim caught Greg pretty good. He surprised Greg. Now he's tying him up. Tim is still slick inside, though. Don't forget, he was knocked out in the first round in his fight against Bone Crusher Smith many years ago. And Tim is a guy, again, you don't know which guy is going to show up. And this guy, Greg Page, we know what guy has showed up. He came to fight. But he's been fighting, and I think that's the difference, honestly.
Well, he's had,
Hands are free, let's go.
as Arnie said before, 20 fights the last 4 years. Much more active than Tim Witherspoon. In that fight against Bone Crusher Smith, Tim Witherspoon really quit in that first round.
Well, he certainly did, but he didn't quit in his fight against Larry Holmes. And I went over to Europe and saw him fight over there in London, England. He got the title back. Oh, he caught Greg again. Nice left hook. They're still throwing after the bell. And referee Bill Clancy took one on the forehead.
He got hit by Greg Page. Nailed the referee after the bell.
Well, referee Clancy's legs are still there. Man, he got nicked up.
And Page is trying to get the referee's attention to apologize in the corner. You see it right there.
Man. We got to see the replay of this. This has got to be something. Watch this now, John. The low blow first.
Oh, that was definitely south of the border. That was South Carolina.
I know. Don't worry about it.
Witherspoon misses with the left hook. I don't know, I didn't even see much of a punch there. Maybe Tim was off balance. Let's see if we can see. This left hook by Witherspoon. A short left hook on the top of the head. He was either off balance or caused him to lose his equilibrium. And now we're going to see near the end of the first round a sweeping left hook catching a referee on the top of the forehead, but he shook it off.
Well, Bill Clancy took one of the 3 really heavy blows in the first round of the fight. Now he's going to tell him, look, you got to clean it up here, guys. You got to watch the punches in the border, and you got to watch the stuff at the bell signifies the end of the round, guys. There's plenty of time to fight. These guys have come to fight. This is better than all expectations, John, as far as I'm concerned. These guys are 2 former world champs, and they want it bad. Look at Page and Lowe.
Really setting down. You saw Witherspoon come out with that crab defense, crossed arms that he used so effectively in his heyday. But Greg Page is immediately attacking the body when he sees Witherspoon put his arms up.
Witherspoon, one of the best to cross that right hand over and then all of a sudden come back and throw a right hand lead.
I like Page's strategy, and that's to go downstairs.
Well, you mentioned it in the last fight that it's probably not a bad idea to take the legs away early by an accidental, quote, accidental low blow. Whether it was or not, there's no way of knowing, but he did it twice. Both guys are really working hard. I mean, these guys are heavyweights. They're scheduled for 10 rounds, and these aren't 3-minute rounds. This is no waltz in the park for either guy, because they are working hard out there.
Fight is being fought at a usually fast pace, not just for heavyweights, but heavyweights that are over 40.
I got to tell you something. This is a better fight at this stage than the Holyfield-Lewis fight was.
No question. Good body shot by Tim Witherspoon. I wouldn't argue with you there, Colonel.
I mean, the Holyfield-Lewis fight was a stinker because, I mean, Holyfield did nothing, and Lennox did just about enough to win a few rounds more than Holyfield did.
Tim Witherspoon's got a jab more. He's walking straight in on Greg Page. Greg Page can box, too. That's his reputation from the outside. Lead right hand by Page, followed by the jab. Page is really mixing it up very well.
Page brought up in that amateur clubs in Louisville as a youngster and always had fast hands. When he won the title, you know, he went down more or less as an opponent for Harry Coetzee after he had beaten Michael Dokes. And they wanted to have a big fight in South Africa. And it was at a time when there were a lot of political strife. And Page went down there, took the chance, went down, and surprised the world by coming back with the WBA heavyweight championship.
But like Tim Witherspoon, he could only hold his title after winning it less than 6 months. And from there, their careers really went downhill. Witherspoon, of course, got another title shot after losing to Pinklon Thomas.
But it was at that time, John, when there were all the guys in the top 10 or 12 that were better than journeyman fighters, and there were about 12, and there was Thomas, Trevor Perfect, these 2 guys. They're all about the same. They were kind of like, when you go about 10 years prior to that, like the guys like Jimmy Ellis, Jerry Quarry, the big guys like that fought at that time. They were in that league, but all of these guys became champion one time or another.
But the problem was that they were talented, but they were connected to the same promoter. We saw what happened with the fighters with Don King, frankly. The fighters lost a lot of their spirit and drive. King didn't always fight them. There became all kinds of internal bickering, and the division kind of fell apart.
The bell ends the second round, and that's where the business end of boxing comes in.
Who won that round, Colonel?
Want you to stand
Well,
in
I'm
front
going to give it
of
to
him, okay?
Page, because I don't
Don't
think
stand in
Witherspoon
front
is
of him.
throwing it.
I think you're right. 2018, we've got it.
Put some water on.
Greg Page after 2 rounds. Really fighting an interesting fight as a fighter who really in the past has worked behind his jab and really not been a guy to been this tiger, come out throwing winging punches to the body. And I think it's really caught Tim Witherspoon off guard here a little bit. Witherspoon psychologically coming off 4 consecutive losses as we look at Tim's corner. He's got to be doubting himself. Let's try and hear what they're saying.
Short hook on the inside. All right? Send the short hook and turn that hook over, baby. You got to turn
Greg
that hook
Robinson
over on
and
the
his
then come
brother
back to the shot.
Celine work with
He's
him.
leaning down on the left hook side. All you do is let that shot go.
Get the body first and come right back up.
And
Then back up.
Seconds out. We approach the 3rd round.
Witherspoon down in the first round by a punch that caught him high on the head that just knocked him off his feet. So I've got it scored 2017 as we go to the third round, and it's been action-packed so far. You couldn't ask in a heavyweight championship fight of 15 years ago for more action than you're seeing to this point right now. I like this thing. This Legends thing is kind of better than I thought.
Well, you've got two fighters here, who, even though they're 40, Greg Page, 41, Tim Witherspoon. Tim Witherspoon's got a lot of skills, believe me. This guy knows how to fight, and so does Greg Page.
Tim can be hit sometimes, then he comes with a crashing left uppercut, bangs the right hand to the body of Greg Page. Page knows how to tie him up inside, looking to get the hands free now. Bill Clancy a little bit more cautious going in now after getting clipped at the end of the first round. And Bill, a good referee, but two big heavyweights to deal with there. Look at Greg, all the determination. You know, Greg had, when he was in his prime of his career, people used to say, well, he lacks the fire sometimes because of the way he fought. He doesn't look like he's lacking any fire right now.
Well, he's got his second chance in his career, actually more like his third or fourth. You know, for a long time he was working for Don King in Mike Tyson's camp and really had retired. When Tyson, of course, had his various problems, Page decided to put the gloves back on. Right hand by Witherspoon. Let's see if he throws that overhand right that he's famous for. We haven't seen much of that.
There it was right there, John. Just as you talked about it, he threw it as the uppercut. Witherspoon boxing better now, but he missed the shots. It took a pretty good right hand that time by Tim. Answered with a pretty good right hand of his own. Digs to the body of Tim. Bangs him with a left hook. Straight right hand, another right hand. Look at this, Page throwing punches in bunches, and they're landing.
And here's a good question. At this pace, can Greg Page keep this up? This is only the third round.
Again, I go back to the old adage, you know, if you stay busy, you keep that body in shape. And he's had all those fights. Again, 9 times he fought 97, 4 times in 98, 3 fights. This is actually his third fight this year, John. I mean, when you keep your body conditioned and you keep fighting, that's the difference so far that I can see. A minute to go in the third round.
That's right, Colonel, but with one exception. Greg Page is fighting at 20 to 25 pounds over his weight when he was in his prime. And when you've got 40-year-old legs and you're fighting at that pace, that could have some effect.
Well, there's no way that I believe here in the third round that this fight can have this pace for 10 rounds. But I'll tell you, the thing that thrills me is that they've both come to try and win this fight, and they're both working extremely hard. This has got to slow down, and it's got to get a little bit sloppier because they can't possibly keep that pace. I mean, it's just extraordinary how hard they're working right now.
Only a couple of months ago in the Heavyweight Explosion Series, Greg Page went 10 rounds with Art Pendergrass, lost a decision he thought he won. He looked good in that fight. So maybe he will be able to keep up. But the pace the first 2 rounds against a quality world-class heavyweight like Tim Witherspoon is going to be a lot different than fighting a guy like Art Pendergrass.
Well, Tim looks like he wants to be more on offense now, but I don't know if he did enough to win the third round. I think that was a Page round too. I've got Page pitching a shutout through 3. There's the crowd in attendance here. We're at the Cumberland County and Fayetteville Crown Coliseum, Fayetteville, North Carolina.
You ever met more friendlier folk than in North Carolina?
Boy, I tell you, there's something about Southern hospitality still, isn't there? Watch this right now, John, by Tim Witherspoon.
I think this is the best punch of the round. That overhand right on the temple really slowed up Page. You saw the delayed reflex kind of like step backwards. Yep, and that's the kind where you're going to lose your equilibrium and a little bit of balance. But Page recovered. I gave that round to Tim Witherspoon 10-9.
Okay, and I've got it the other way, so I still have Page out in front with the knockdown. There's 4 points to be considered here. And you've got it closer than I have right now. You've got Witherspoon winning that, so you're a little bit tighter than I have it. All right, here we go. Round number 4. Bob Sheridan here with John Saraceno. The principals in the ring, 2 former world heavyweight champs, 2-time heavyweight champ Tim Witherspoon in the white trunks, Greg Page in the red trunks.
These guys have very interesting parallel careers in a lot of different ways. In addition, having fought for Don King for many years, they both lost their first heavyweight championship fight. Then in 1984, they both won a portion of the heavyweight championship with that one loss. And then in their first defense, they both proceeded to lose the title less than 6 months after becoming champion.
interesting parallel, but there's the right hand that Greg Page threw a kind of a left hand that took the vision away of Tim, and then fired the right hand right behind it. Tim's got to keep those hands up there. If he doesn't cross, he's wide open for the left hook, and he can be hit by the right hand.
Witherspoon's got some tape dangling from his glove, and the referee's going to have to, at some point, tape that up.
As soon as he sees it, he will, John, I'm sure. As Tim crossing up again, usually what Greg does when he does that is go downstairs to the body, and there he goes to the body. We're in the 4th round. Time remaining, a couple of minutes, inside of a couple of minutes to go.
Tim Witherspoon really got a boost in his career when he fought Jorge Luis Gonzalez. Stopped him in 5 rounds in 1996. He defeated Al Cole right before that. It looked like he was coming on a little again and had a new life.
That got his 2nd career going.
Yeah.
But what put him on the world scene was he darn near beat Larry Holmes. There were people that thought, and that was Holmes pretty close to his prime. He really put on a brilliant effort. It was one of those fights like Leon Spinks when he fought Muhammad Ali. No chance to win, and all of a sudden after 4 rounds, hey, I can beat this guy. And Tim just really boxed against one of the great champions of all time. Tim get nailed pretty good by shots by Greg Page here.
A combination punching by Greg Page, and now...
And now I see that Bill Clancy's taking
deducted a point.
1 point away from Greg Page.
I don't know about that. Those punches all look legal to me, but the referee has a much better view than we do.
Well, the point is there were a couple earlier, and I think anything south of the border, he just wants to keep this fight under control because these guys could get out of control very quickly, these 2 big guys.
You see Page using the double jab and then following up with the left hook to the body.
And how about Page up on his toes? Is this the body of a 39-year-old heavyweight?
Well, Tim Witherspoon's got to move that head a little bit more. He was doing that in the 1st round a little bit, but now he's just got that cross-arm defense. There goes the clubbing overhand right.
Followed by a nice left hook. Watch for the clubbing right by Tim. Watch Greg, you better get back up on those toes. Closing seconds now, the 4th round. Can you imagine what this heavyweight fight would be like in the head over 2-minute rounds? My goodness.
I don't know if Witherspoon would want to think about that.
I don't know either. There's the bell ending the 4th round.
Hey, you don't want to ask you to name.
All right, we're in the locker room with one of the great heavyweight champions of all time, Larry Holmes. Many people, including myself, think that this is absolutely one of the finest fighters that ever lived.
Well, you can make the case that Larry Holmes, I think, belongs among the top 5 heavyweights of all time. Really showed the heart, the grit, the desire. Got off the floor against guys like Snipes and the hardest puncher ever, probably Ernie Shavers.
That's what's coming up. The heavyweight championship and the legend of boxing heavyweight title, James Bone Crusher Smith from right down the road in Magnolia, North Carolina, taking on the Eastern Assassin, Larry Holmes, for this brand new Legends of Boxing heavyweight title. Well, Page loses a point. How did you score that round? I thought Page won that round 10-9, and then you take the point off, so it's a 9-9 round.
Round 5.
I've got Greg Page ahead 39-36.
And I've got it 39-35 because you gave that 1 round to Witherspoon. So we're in the ballpark. And again, our scoring is just to try to give you an indication of how we see the fights. We see a lot of them, and we try to get you pointed in the right direction. Big shot below the hip of Greg Page thrown by Tim Witherspoon. Is it that they can't get their hands up, John, while we're seeing some of these low blows, great big guys?
I don't know. I think they're just trading downstairs, trying to slow each other guy up. And I know Witherspoon knows he's got to try and slow Greg Page, who's now using his size to try to lean on Timmy Witherspoon on the inside. Witherspoon trying to fight this fight from the inside.
Now you see the beef around the middle of Greg Page. Don't be fooled by that. Even when he was in the peak, he didn't have one of those bodies that was a cut body. So at age 39 and putting on a bit of weight, that is not indicative of the fact that he's not in about as good a shape. But he's heavy in the chest too. That's his body style more than he hasn't trained on. He's trained hard for this fight. Greg Page is a determined guy that wants to win and get a shot at the Legends heavyweight title. There's big money. Larry Holmes, don't forget, is getting $1.2 million for this.
Hands are free.
There's some serious money involved in this.
Give me a break. No punch, no punch, no punch. All right.
5th round action. It's slowed down just a bit, as you would expect. You said after the grueling first 3 rounds, but these guys don't know that they're slowing down any.
Break! No punch, no punch, no punch on break.
Interesting to watch Greg Page now. That little bit of extra weight and the pace that he set in those first couple of 3 rounds, Colonel. Can he keep it up? And maybe did he come out fast thinking that was his best way to win the fight? Catch a cold Tim Witherspoon early.
All right, now time has been called. I think he wants to
Let's
address
pull this
that
damn
tape
thing down and keep
situation
it
on the
down, or I'm
glove.
going to have to let it go if it's here.
Something here.
Okay? Let's keep it down.
An equipment adjustment
let it go.
for...
Let it go. It can't go
all right.
wrong.
Yeah, it looks
Let's
like
go.
maybe the
Time
protector
in.
has
Let's go.
Tim
Right on the
Witherspoon,
belly
but I
button is
guess not.
good.
Okay. Action back in round 5. I'm Bob Sheridan with me, John
Break! No
Saracino.
punch, no punch. Step back.
In
Step
the
back.
ring,
Step back.
heavyweight champions, former heavyweight champs, Tim Witherspoon, former 2-time champ, bangs to the body, back upstairs, Page answers downstairs. Page already lost the point in the 4th round for low blows, and he's borderline again here in the 5th.
When he's getting close enough, Page then trying to smother Witherspoon and doing a lot of holding, a lot of grappling now on the inside.
No punch.
Well, Tim doesn't want to get near with those punches that Greg Page has been hitting him with. Tim throws a looping, wide shot to the body. It doesn't do any damage to Greg. Greg hangs on inside now. This is what you would more or less expect, but there's plenty of action in between the grabbing on here. And again, I go back to the fact it's not as great a fight here in the 5th round as it was in the first 3 rounds, but it's not bad for heavyweights, especially 40-year-old heavyweights.
So Witherspoon needs to get that jab going. He's standing, see how he stands on the outside?
Yeah, he's not boxing great at all, and he was a terrific boxer.
Anything on the belt is going to be good. I know he's got him high. Anything
I don't
on
know,
the
I
belt
gotta
is
give
good.
Page that round too because of the fact he's just busy in the sim. His Bone Crusher Smith, a big popular guy here. They see him on the monitors here in the arena, and you can hear the crowd kind of hooping and hollering.
Look at the arms on that guy.
Built kind of like George Foreman now, where he used to have that real cut body 10, 12, 15 years ago. Now he's got that big George Foreman type body.
He grew up on a farm, and you can see it. Let me tell you, folks.
Yeah, the guys were asking him yesterday at the press conference, well, did you chop wood to trade? He says, I chopped so much wood when I was a kid.
That's the last thing he wanted to look at.
Bone's smiling now because he knows he's being watched in the locker room, and his man that was holding the pads just went down.
He is a class act and a true gentleman.
Oh, he is. You know, for me, it's like visiting the Hall of Fame up in Canastota. It's seeing all these guys around, and we've had a good week with them, and a lot of fun. All right, here we go to round number 6. That's Greg Page in the red trunks, Tim Witherspoon in the white trunks, 2 former heavyweight champions of the world.
Witherspoon starts jabbing early in the round and then seemingly just abandons it or forgets it. He's loading up trying to get Greg Page with one shot. I don't think it's going to work here tonight for him. He's throwing punches with really bad intentions on the inside, Tim Witherspoon, but he's a target for Greg Page.
Well, other than the round that we dispute, I'll get Page building up a lead now because he had Tim down. He got Tim high in the head in the first round. It wasn't one of those knockdowns that his legs were gone or any of those things. Yeah, and he got right back up, but he had to take the 8 count after that. He got right back up, but nonetheless, it's a 10-8 round. And with that said, Greg Page is building up points here. Tim needs to get busy. And you know, John, I like what you said in the last round. He's going to start using the jab, throw the right hand behind it. You know what he does? He comes inside, he covers up, he works with the body here.
I'll tell you what,
Hands are free.
Witherspoon just peppered Greg Page with 4 body shots. Page said something in return.
I'll call it a low
Tim Witherspoon trying to go downstairs. Maybe he takes advantage of that soft middle section by Greg Page around his belly area. But you're right, he's got to use the jab more to set up the looping overhand.
No punch, no punch, no punch.
He's trying to bomb Greg Page out of there. He needs to get Greg Page to drop those hands down and then go upstairs.
Well, Greg looks like he's done most of the hitting, but you look at Greg's face. In his face, a bit of puffiness below the left eye. Nice straight jab by Tim. Tim needs to follow that right hand up, and he throws that left jab, throw that right behind it. And he bangs the body again. I don't know, he might be right about his philosophy. Work to the late rounds and try to take him out because he's banging the body. Tim doesn't work upstairs other than the fact that you see the puffiness around the eyes and the forehead of Greg that he's been taking many headshots. Meanwhile, Timmy's face looks fairly okay. A little bit of puffiness below his left eye too, but not as bad as Greg Page. Inside again. Tim not working the body.
No punch.
Still not a bad pace in the 6th round with a minute to go. Under a minute, I should say. Just standing, both trying to cruise a little bit. And this is what Greg said to me yesterday. John, you were there when I was talking to him, and he said, I've learned a lot more now about cruising when I have to cruise and then pick up the pace when I have to pick up the pace. He actually thinks he's a smarter fighter now than at any time in his career.
And he said working as a trainer helped him on the outside to then go inside the ring and work what he was teaching his fighters.
You know what, when he was training fighters, he gets so frustrated. He said, I can do this better than they can. I'm going to get back in the ring again.
Let's go.
And he's right.
And he's made some considerable money in the past couple of years. And after all, these are professionals, and that's what it's all about. Pushes Tim down, and Bill Clancy says, no. Bill ends the 6th round.
Hey, Greg. Come here, baby. We're almost out. You understand me? We're almost out.
That's Tim Witherspoon's corner. Notice some unsteadiness. Let's listen in the corner of Tim Witherspoon.
Give him a boxing lesson. You know, Rim. You understand me?
Open up wide.
Let's give him a boxing lesson. You're almost out. Great. The fight dead even. The fight dead
Sorry, that was Greg Page's corner. I don't know why I said Tim Witherspoon, but
all right.
Well, as I look across to Tim's corner, they're trying to get some elasticity back in Tim's knees. Look at the way they're holding his leg up there.
yeah, his legs look very unsteady at the end of that last round.
Yet I thought of any of the rounds that Tim may have stolen that 6th round.
I thought he did, but you know what? He's saying he can't do it. Is Tim Witherspoon going to quit here?
Yo, man.
Is he going to go or is he going to quit?
Let's go one more, see how you feel, all right?
He's looking over at us. He's looking at his corner.
The guys are saying try to give it one more time. His leg is really bothering him. You picked it up right away that he had a problem with his legs, and they got a good problem with that right leg.
They're lifting him off the stool to just to get him off.
Well, it appears that Tim wants to quit. And he just walks right in and lets Greg Page really pummel him.
Now, if Greg Page was paying attention to what was going on there, he really goes after Witherspoon and downstairs.
And, you know, he's taken away the legs of Tim. Tim really appears that he doesn't want to fight anymore.
Tim Witherspoon's had a very rough few years, starting with Levi Billups. He was stopped in one round. Sorry, he stopped Levi Billups in one round. But following that, he lost a 12-round decision to Larry Donald, a couple of 10-round decisions to Jimmy Thunder and Andrew Galata, and then got stopped by Brian
We got a break. Let him out.
Denmark.
Let him out. Let him out.
He's really
just a couple of months ago.
Yeah, but he's really sucking wind now. He tries to get up on his toes, but it's like he's got lead in his knees.
At this point, Greg Page has a lot more left than Timmy Witherspoon does, and it's
Page
evident.
doesn't realize it, John, that Tim is as frustrated, not frustrated, but as winded, has the problem with the legs that he does.
He may realize it, Colonel, but you know what? There's a thing. He doesn't want to get caught walking into one of those overhand rights either. Tim Witherspoon could still be a dangerous fighter. And so I think Page figures, hey, you know what? I'm going to box this guy from the outside a little bit. He's not so spry. I think I'm ahead. I'm going to build up some points with the jab. I think it's a good strategy to employ if Greg Page does it at this point.
They
Make
were in the
Tim
7th
Witherspoon hunt
round.
him down.
7th round, John, plenty of action, and, you know, it hasn't slowed down really a lot. I mean, the first 3 rounds are furious for guys at this age. This has been a very interesting fight, and it's very interesting now because, again,
give me a break.
We don't know what Tim Witherspoon's going to show up. We still don't know what Tim wants to do.
Well, I think we know now. Tim Witherspoon's going to have to try to gut it out because his legs are all but gone. It's a question of whether Greg Page wants to box safely from the outside or to try to take Tim Witherspoon out of the fight immediately. Right now, he's airing on the side. Well, not airing, but he's decided to be more cautious as Greg Page.
Let's go.
Now remember, Tim Witherspoon is a grandfather, so, I mean, you got to have heavy legs.
Well, you see Witherspoon there just wanted to throw that looping right hand. He can't push off that foot, that back foot to get leverage, and he knows he's a sitting duck right now.
And he's got his legs far too spread apart because they feel so heavy.
punch, step back.
Right. And Page doesn't realize it. He's really got a tremendous advantage right now, and he's staying outside, but that's all right. He boxes, he comes with an uppercut, then he ties up inside, bangs him with the uppercut inside.
No punch, step back,
I'm
Greg,
not
step
sure,
back. Greg, let him
Colonel,
out, step back.
that Greg Page realizes that Tim Witherspoon doesn't really have his good pins under him at this point.
No, I don't think he
He's
does.
not fighting him the way, you know, if he knew that.
if he knew that, I think he'd just be all over him again, because Greg apparently, you know, did a little bit of coasting as I gave the 6th round to Tim, in spite of the fact that his legs looked shot. I still thought he did a little bit more than Greg in the last round, but that was one of those coasting rounds for Greg.
Witherspoon's done absolutely nothing in this round.
Nothing.
No punch, step back. We got 10. No punch, no punch.
He is,
got 10
at
seconds
least
in the
on our
round. Let's go.
scorecards, way
10 seconds.
behind
You
in the
good?
points.
5 seconds.
Well, this is definitely a pay-over. You see him load up that right hand, and he caught Greg. He didn't catch him flush, but enough to put him back on his heels. Let's see exactly what is going to happen, and if we can hear what they're saying at Tim's
He's quitting. Tim Witherspoon's quitting. At least that's what
Ring
it
the
looks
bell.
like.
We got a retirement in the corner.
At least that's what
Bring it. It's over.
the
The retirement
trainer
in the
just
corner.
told the referee. The fight is over. Greg Page has won.
It's all over. Greg Page has won. Failure to come out for the 8th round. Tim Witherspoon retires in his corner, and we'll get John Saraceno in there to find out what that's all about. Well, Tim really didn't want to go the 7th, and there's something wrong with his legs, and I know John will find out what that's all about when we get in there. Greg Page will win the TKO here. Greg was very impressive.
Spine.
I was really surprised at the pace that he set for himself. He's going to sit there.
Good fight, baby. I love you, man. Okay. Beautiful fight. You all right? Good fight, man.
It's all right.
This.
Okay. With that? Okay.
When you hear the platitudes that were given from the corner of Page to Tim Witherspoon, there's something wrong with Timmy. We're going to find out what that is. And our man John Saraceno will find out exactly what the situation is. But again, as I started to say, I was just really very, very impressed.
Okay.
Now, watch before the last round exactly what happened to the body here. As you see, Page trying to work on Witherspoon. He catches him with hooks, bends him over. Tim at that stage seems to have, see the way he's kind of favoring the right leg there? And here's Tim's last hurrah with a final nice jab that put Greg back on his heels. So Tim, ever dangerous, he still could do some different things, but he wasn't the match for Greg Page tonight. We're going to find out what exactly happened in a little bit, but let's make it official by going to our ring announcer, Mark Biero.
Ladies and gentlemen, the red corner has retired due to what is being described as a pop disc in the back. Therefore, the winner at the end of round 7 by tactical knockout, Greg Page.
Well, Mark Biero was able to find out that there was a back problem, which of course obviously affected the legs, and Timmy injured. At least that's what he's saying, and there's no reason to doubt that. We're going to try and interview both fighters. The doctor is tending to Tim Witherspoon right now. And I'll tell you one thing, the pace that Greg Page set of the fight was really furious. It was a terrific idea that he had to force Tim Witherspoon, and Tim just at no stage could react. He was down in the very first round, but I was very, very surprised and very pleased with the amount of action for this heavyweight fight. I see John Saraceno now is in position with Greg Page, so let's go up to John. Take it away, John.
All right, Greg, congratulations. You came out very fast in this fight. In the past, you've been known as the guy who really worked behind your jab. Very aggressive in this fight. Was that your strategy from the get-go?
Well, when I fought Tim Witherspoon the first time, you know, I didn't view none of his fights. Only thing I done, I took my man back to what I did before. But first, I want to give my blessings all come from the Lord above, who blessed me and who anointed me to do this. You know, like I got a lot of things ahead of me. You know, when I came here, you know, I'm closer to God than I ever was now. And thanks to Reverend Sneed and Cravon and my group, Doug Myers, Lee Holiday, and Management Chuck. You know, these guys are behind me 100%. And thanks to Harold Smith and Quindell, you know, they're doing a fantastic job. You know, this time I went in with a confident, with a set mind, because I didn't have to go against no obstacles. Because I wasn't, you know, I didn't have to deal with if the fight went to a decision, I wouldn't have to worry about who was going to nod and say, okay, this is where the fight going to go.
Greg, the way you were fighting, it looked like you were not going to leave it in the hands of the judges.
I'm not, you know, it wasn't me fighting. You know, I was in the dressing room, and the Lord was up upon me. And, you know, like I did a lot of things in my life, and I prayed that, you know, that I be forgiven for it, and I have. I got another opportunity to do this. You know, this is, I'm inside of my destiny now. You know, my mind is clear. You know, around good people, spiritual people, and, you know, I don't know how to deal with a lot of backbiting, a lot of snitching, a lot of this. You know, everybody's into the word, and the word is what is truth is light, man.
Let me ask you this: the first knockdown, you hit him high on the temple. It was more of a flash knockdown. Did you think he was hurt?
It wasn't no flash. It was the anointing of the Lord, man. That's what it was. You know, got hit with the power. You know, I'm not sitting down and making people think that I'm a saint. I'm a child of God. And I know where my strength flows from.
Greg, you're 40 years old. Where can you go from here with this victory? Yeah, what can you do next?
It's like this, I'm 40 years old, but it's not how long you live, it's how you live. You know, the Lord has preserved my body where I didn't turn to drugs, alcohol, I didn't hang out in the streets. You know, I was in the back in the wing watching everybody training fighters, you know, and the whole opportunity was I got a chance to do it again. And, you know, and right now the sky's the limit, you know. I'm going to follow directions this time. At first I had so much backbiting, so many conflicting things going on, and now, right now, Greg Page is in control of Greg Page. Right now, I'm there, you know, I thank God for the opportunities, for opening doors, the man's closed. So.
Greg Page, congratulations on a big victory against Tim Witherspoon, your old nemesis from 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're going to send it back to ringside now to the Colonel.
All right, nice interview there. You get to see the emotion of Greg Page, a born-again Christian, crediting the Lord for his power, but in reality, he really has worked extremely hard over the past 3 years to get himself ready to fight in this Legends of Boxing. So he wins Tim Witherspoon with either a torn back muscle or a disc problem, unable to come out after 7 rounds, and scored as a TKO victory for Greg Page, which would put him in line for a shot of the Legends of Heavyweight Championship. We're coming up to the main event now. Let's go back to our host position. As you see, Bone Crusher Smith and Larry Holmes is coming up, and that's a 12-round fight with championship rules. Can't wait. Let's go back up to our host position, Ani Rosenthal and Sam Smith.
Thank you, Bob Sheridan. Nice call of the fight, and again, an unusual ending to it, and the fact that Witherspoon does not answer the bell after 7. And again, a torn muscle in the back, of course, giving him all kinds of leg problems. I actually have given it a split decision. I thought Bill Clancy took a pretty good punch at the end of 1 from Page and was still standing at the end.
No, you're right, Sam. Bill Clancy took a hell of a blow. But I got to tell you something. For those of you who don't remember the first Page-Witherspoon fight, this was far away a much better fight. We said it was going to be different. It was different from the opening bell. Greg Page, though, really showed us a lot. He really took the fight to him right from the outset. He dropped him in the first round, and it was all his fight from there on in.
Turned out that Page lost a point also for the low blow, which indeed, if we'd have gone to the cards, might have paid the dividends one way or the other. But then Witherspoon started to wither, it looked like, after the 5th or 6th round, certainly, and then had to finish after the 7th.
Always dangerous, still throwing that big looping right hand over the top, but he wasn't setting it up enough off the jab. Greg Page went to the body right away, and I got to tell you, the body shots took a lot out of Tim Witherspoon, and that lower back, you know, if your stomach muscles aren't exactly where they're supposed to be, as mine aren't every day sometimes, your back tends to go out, and it went right into spasm, and I think that's finally what made him have to retire on his stool.
Well, Billy Costello gets our junior welterweight fight in a split decision over Juan Laporte. And in this one, of course, we had Witherspoon not finishing the round. At the end of round 7, and didn't answer the bell for round number 8. He loses on a TKO.